Welcome, everyone. It is June 15th. It's about 8:30 over here on the East Coast. This is the official Two Men in a Room podcast. My name is Anthony. I'm down here in Orlando, Florida. And my co-host,
My name is Vernell James. I'm also in Orlando, Florida. Thank you for joining us tonight.
excellent. So I'll give you a little quick synopsis of what this podcast is all about. We are two men. We are in rooms, and we will be discussing current topics and making opinions based on our expertise and our experiences in life. And hopefully, we can get you to chime in too. We'll have a comment section underneath. If you do see this on Facebook, feel free to put also in the comment section below on the Facebook post any comments, concerns you might have, anything we can address, post below. So, our first topic of the night, which is going to be based on our main topic, past versus present, is in the past, a lot of people have used checks. So, do you actually see anybody using checks nowadays?
I know I haven't. I think dealing with checks should be thrown out because the new era of today is you do everything on your phone. You do everything online. You pay rent online. You pay your light bill online. You pay your cable bill online. So why do people still have the nerve to carry around a checkbook? I think it's just crazy.
So,
What
do
do you
you think banks should get rid of checks altogether?
all together? Let it go. It's over.
Altogether.
All together. Let it go. It's over.
Well, I have heard of a few older people that, aren't so into the whole modern internet stuff or even the app stuff that still use checks. So I understand there is somewhat necessity for some people. I think maybe in another 20 years they'll pretty much be out of that and then could
Before,
possibly eliminate um paper checks altogether.
no, 20 years, that's a long time. It's over with in another, I say I give it 5 more years. I
5
think
more years? Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything that you actually absolutely need a check for. There might be a government business or something.
besides a cashier check, I mean, there you shouldn't need a checking account. I mean, you shouldn't just need no check. Who write checks these days? I understand that the older generation prefer writing a check, but I think as time goes on, someone got to teach them the modern way, and that is to pay certain things online. Or a family member should take the time out to just pay it for them online.
Well, even if you look at it from the other side of it, I mean, how many kids know how to actually fill out a check, let alone even write in cursive and be able to actually fill the check out and
So
write their name or write a name to somebody and how to actually write the, writing out the money side of it and everything? It's crazy.
this generation probably don't even know what a check look like, a checkbook look like. More or
This
less fill it out.
this might be something for us to do is like go on the street and just hold up a check and say, if you can fill this out, you can get the money from it. Now we'll have a maximum amount on how much money anybody could take from me, but I may actually attempt to try that one day.
And I would be more likely to join you because it would be interesting to experience what this generation knows about checkbooks.
Definitely. It's crazy how, we've moved from handling paper money and writing out money to now you just like what do people do now? Slide cards across little
Or put
screens
your
and
iPhone
stuff.
or any type of watch and pay for it that way. I
That's
have
right.
just use their watches or their phone just to pay for it. So I think they what people fail to realize is I guess they're trying to protect us from scams and people stealing checkbooks or whatever the case may be. by you just tapping your phone, tapping your watch to pay for certain things.
Very futuristic with that watch thing. I
I
mean, I'm not. It's crazy the technology now. You just tap your watch,
right.
which leads to a good question. You know, what's worse, losing your wallet or losing your watch slash phone?
I say losing the wallet. And the reason I say that is because you can always, it's horrible to lose your wallet, of course, because you can have cash. Some people carry cash, some people carry certain identification. But losing your phone is just not good. Losing your wallet, you could go on the phone and lock your credit cards, debit cards, but losing the phone, that's just like a disaster waiting to happen. Unless, I guess, if your phone is locked, what's the percentage of people unlocking your phone getting your information?
Has to be pretty low. I know the Apple one actually will. What if you can't unlock it in a certain time? Adds time to
It
how
had,
long you have to wait to unlock it.
yes, you have to know. So my granddaughter had my phone. She used my password and it locked up for a minute. So I told her she had to wait a minute. She did it again and it locked up for 5 minutes.
Okay.
The third time it locked up for 15 minutes. Now after the 15 minutes, I don't know what they do about it, but I guess it's a given. Both device, well, the device is important and the wallet is also important, but I prefer losing my wallet than my phone. What are your thoughts on it?
I'd certainly be more apt to lose a wallet than a phone at this point. A lot of stuff I've realized this, just going out to the pool. Oh, let me just go hang out at the pool and leave my stuff there. Well, if someone took my phone, they'd actually be taking quite a bit of knowledge from me, and it would be a hassle to be able to stop everything that they could get into. Whereas if they took the wallet, like you said, it would be a lot easier just to go on your phone, lock stuff out, and be able to call up and just get replacements on everything. The only major hassle would be like a driver's license where you'd have to go back to the DMV or RMV, depending on states, and present some kind of identification to be able to get a replacement. But everything else, I think, could be replaced in your
Oh,
wallet.
question. So,
Yes.
what do you think? What percentage of identity theft is still going on?
Oh, very high percentage. Um, Even through emails and everything like that, I'm constantly getting junk emails saying, "Hey, you want a brand new saw? You want a brand new drill? If you just simply fill out your information packet, we'll mail it to you." And all they're really trying to do is get my information and get stuff from like that. And just a couple of weeks ago, I actually got a warning that a place I buy eyeglasses from had actually got hacked, and they had got a name, an email address, and a phone number, and they were able to bombard my email address with emails like that were just kind of going into spam, but simply stating, "Hey, you want a free trip? Hey, you won, $100 Visa gift card. Just simply fill out your information, and they can get your information that way." Identity theft is probably one of the easiest and probably one of the highest crimes that are going on now because a lot of people, want to get a free gift and want to get that free trip or whatever, and will simply say, "Well, it looks like an okay email. I should just fill it out and get my free stuff and move on with it."
So you saying don't open the emails, basically?
No, don't open the emails at all. Simply delete them, or you can forward them to your email company, whether it be Google with Gmail, Yahoo with Yahoo Mail, and so on and so on. And they'll actually start trying to trace it and stop the main address that's doing it. The problem is you can now set up so many multiple addresses to send all these emails from that it's very hard to try to stop some of these people.
Okay. So do you think just by them getting a hold to your driver license or identification card, what's the percentage of them taking your identity?
I think it depends on what your identity is. I'll actually say this. My driver's license number in a certain state was a social security number. And so that got hacked. So it is actually out there somewhere on the black web. I do have a security firm that watches my identity and sends me alerts if anything is triggered. If you try to go buy a car on me, if you try to go open a new credit card on me, if you try to buy a home on me, it'll actually send me a trigger alert saying someone's using your social security number, your birth date, your name. Is this you? Please contact us to let us know.
Well,
So
it's funny how you say that, because I was a victim of identity theft back in the, I want to say back in the early 1996, I want to say, and I was going to purchase a car from a certain car dealership, and they say, "Hey, we just sold a car to you," and I was like, "No, this is my first time coming here." He was like, "No, I just did it like 2 days ago." So I pulled out my driver license, gave it to him, and he asked me to come into his office, and he showed me the other individual who's no longer, living.
mhm.
Um, and come to Friday night, it was supposed to be a very close friend of mine, and that individual bought a car, bought a condo in Jacksonville, Florida. So that's how I was able to. So I had to track down, go to the DMV, and get all this stuff taken care of. So I think I have a red flag on mine. So no
So
one.
he was using your name to buy all of that, or just the
Yes,
car, or
yeah,
all of it?
he purchased the car. He
Okay.
he lived in Jacksonville in a condo.
Mhm.
So yes, but it took me a while to get things back to norm.
Hmm.
So I know how it feels to be a victim of identity theft.
Oh wow. Has anything popped up since then?
No,
Any warnings?
no, not since then. No.
No. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I had to go to court in Jacksonville several times, do a hand analysis. I had to write my name. I think it was 20 times, so they could confirm that there wasn't my signature. So I was eventually cleared of it, but it still did damage, to my credit score and all.
Right.
But I'm back where I need to be, thank God.
Oh wow. That's a story for everybody out there. Be very careful. Check your stuff. Now, do you lock your phone up now since you've seen all that and everything, and lock up everything a
Oh,
little
yeah.
more
So
careful?
now is I guess it's a habit of me. I make sure I lock my phone. I make sure I carry my wallet. I don't carry that much cash in my wallet, but I do have several credit cards. I just urge people not to have a social security card in your wallet. You leave that at home. Leave your birth certificate at home. You know, it'll make it a little harder for them to steal your identity. But I just urge people to keep certain documents at home and only carry a credit card, your identification, or driver license in your wallet, and not that much cash.
Good advice. Good advice. And that sort of segues into something that I wanted to bring up. Uh, are you who you say you are? Our next topic, based on past versus present, is modern dating. So I've been single for a little while now, and I've re-entered the online dating platforms. I know everybody loves those dating platforms. You see the commercials on the TV. how you can just meet the match of your life and everything's great. But what I've noticed since the pandemic has happened is a large number of these profiles on there are completely fake. Completely not even the person you're looking at. Now, some people are dumb enough to actually put their actual photo up there for verification purposes and leave it up there. And so you don't realize till you scroll through a couple photos that it's someone completely different. So, my question is and you're a little bit older than me. Was dating easier back in, say, the 90s, early 2000s versus now? Or do you think we still had struggles back then that we have in struggling now?
I guess it all depends on the individuals because back then you had to meet people face to face, whether it was at a club, at a restaurant, or wherever you may be, at a gas station. Now the platform is download this app, download that dating app. I don't personally do dating apps. Simple reason, there's catfish, there's people that's out there to meet people just to harm certain individuals. So I just, to me, it was back then, it was easier. I just think face to face is better is to me. All that dating apps, I don't personally like them, but I know there's a lot of people that do like them. That's just my opinion.
Right. It did become very heavily used when stuff was closed and you couldn't go out to certain places at certain times, and a lot of bars were told to shut down, restaurants were told to shut down. So I understand how there are so many more people doing it now than there were. I just see it as it becoming a much bigger problem now. Now, granted, back in the day, you had people who, like you say, would catfish you. You know, they'd show up, look really great, and it turned out they were just trying to go after you for your money or for attention or whatever. So, do you think it's the same, or do you think things are different?
I think things are different. You do have realistic people out there that really want a genuine relationship, right? But then you also have those that try to play on others' intelligence, and get what they could get out of an individual. So I just think people need to be mindful of what they're doing when it comes to these dating apps or even meeting people in person because it's just a game out there. And I understand, everyone wants true love.
Mhm.
Everyone wants to find that right individual for them. But it takes a lot as far as these dating apps and trying to figure out, is this person really who they say they are? So I know you've been single, like you just mentioned, you've been single for a while. So what are you looking for in a relationship?
In a relationship, you're I think I'm looking for someone who is going to be more of like a co-pilot. Someone to support me, but let me kind of handle things and go through taking decisions of the home and doing stuff like that. Um, I've noticed that, a lot of women that I've been dating and I'm now dating in the we'll say late 30s, mid 40s range now. They don't really um what's the word? Have the best grasps on things. And anyone who's like gone through YouTube, I'm sure you've seen the videos of men and women complaining how dating has gotten so bad. Expectations are way off,
Do you
and
I,
people just
oh, so do you
have no
uh,
idea what they're looking at.
so do you think because they wanted to have it their way and only their way?
Well, I don't think it's people wanting to have it their way. It's more people want to live in a situationship, which is a good word for that, where you're with someone, you get to say you're with someone, you have the benefits of being with someone when, they come around and you get to go out on date night and everything. But at the same time, you want to have your single time, you want to have your me time, you want to be able to do things that you like doing and the other person doesn't like doing. So you'd rather just go off and do it on your own. And I think that kind of comes to head when, you have times where somebody may say, "Hey, well, what are you doing? Where are you going?" And people take offense to that. Um, I think you have to kind of find a little bit of equalness in the relationship,
Right.
but someone kind of has to lead it also. So what that breaks down to
Uh,
is, not you don't have to be the dictator. You don't have to be, a Saddam Hussein. You don't have to say no every time, but you have to kind of also push for what you want. If you're dating someone and they're constantly going out, then yeah, you have to kind of say, "Hey, well, wait a minute, where are you going? Could I go with you? Let me see what is going on with things." And then if they really push that far where they don't want you to be in any of it, then you do have to kind of suspect something might be going on.
correct.
Um, but if you have a relationship where, someone you've been together for 40 some years and hey, my wife's just going out with her friends, they're going to the mall, it's no big deal. I just say, "Hey, have fun. Do you need a little money? No worries. Okay, go ahead."
So do you think
And
it's hard to trust certain people?
I think nowadays, yeah, it's definitely hard to trust because like I say, you have a lot of fake stuff out there, that you have a lot of fake accounts. And then sometimes you even have like real people just doing fake stuff. You can have somebody simply pulling you along, waiting to get something from you, and once they get it from you, they're gone. So the trust factor is extremely hard to pick up nowadays. Um, I think it needs to go kind of back to meeting in real life. I think if you meet somebody, I was at a bar a couple months ago meeting people, and you kind of get more of a sense of who they are. It's a lot harder to keep a perfect image up of you all the time when you're in a circumstance where you're face to face with someone. Online, you're basically just seeing someone for a couple minutes to send a message, get a response, send another message. Okay, they didn't respond. So now you got to wait till tomorrow to get a response. So you only see them for a few minutes. So that perfect image, that mirror can sit there and give you the image you want to see. When you actually go meet someone in real life, now you have to interact. And I believe you told me one time, you actually get to see how people react to when you say something. If you say
Right. Because you
something and they react in a weird way,
right. Because when you ask people questions, you can kind of dictate by their body language and their facial expression on the question you just asked them. And you can kind of read between the lines on certain answers that they say. I pay attention to the whole entire conversation. And I could leave that individual, come back home and still think about what they said and how they said it. And I'm trying to still analyze it to make sure, hey, are they telling the truth? But their body language says something different, or their facial expression says something different. So I guess it all depends on the individual and how they really pay attention to the individual that they're dating or seeing.
right.
So, what qualities that you're looking for in a female, I should say,
Are you talking about physical qualities or, emotional qualities or
emotion,
mental qualities or
emotional?
emotional? I would say lean more feminine. There's a good amount of women right now who are out there who are trying to get their career together, get their situation together. They're trying to get a beautiful house and they're trying to have a nice car and they want to be the belle of the ball, and that's great do it because it puts you in a position where you can, move through life a lot easier. But at a certain light, a lot of men look at it as you're too strong, you're too headstrong, you're too aggressive in some instances. You're too, you may put up more of a fight than most men would want to deal with. So uh, I'm looking for more of a feminine woman, someone who, wants to be more of a princess, but not in the sense that you think you're the biggest and baddest thing out there. There's some women out there who say, "Well, I'm a bad, whatever," and then finish that sentence. And they they kind of are because they're really out there in their dress, in their, Gucci bag, and the 6-inch heels, and they're just trying to be the biggest and best thing. And what it does is it turns off a lot of men who are not trying to get into something where you're going to argue all the time. You want to get into something where you're gonna have good times, you're gonna want to go out together, you're gonna want to go, do experiences, go to the movies, have ice cream, be able to do stuff. You don't want to have to think, am I going to have a fight right now with her when I go to that? And some women put that image out there. And I hate to say it, but some of the women who, go to the gym and try to get as fit as men look, they kind of put that image out there that they're the strongest, they're the baddest, they can handle everything. And
I,
some men aren't looking for that.
I think differently because what's wrong with a woman keeping up with her body just as well as a man keeping up with his body? There's nothing wrong with it. I just think everybody have their way of doing things, and they self-love, self-image. To me, there's nothing wrong with it. If she wanna stay fit, why not? If he wanna stay fit, why not?
There there's a there's a line between staying fit and then being over aggressive with training.
Or arrogant. What
Okay. I think if your girlfriend has bigger arms than you, I think you kind of get looked at as, well, you're not the strongest man out there. You're not, you're not in charge of the relationship. You're not the head of the
so you
household.
talking about what other people may say or think.
Right.
But why? If that's what
That
they people like, then what's wrong with it?
But that's what the basis of the world is right now. I mean, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat, and you're telling everybody, hey, how many likes can you get? How many comments can you get? How many, direct message DMs can you get? Everybody is basing this now on attention being almost like a currency. How much attention can you get? Is based on how much you can use in the world to get where you need to go.
But I don't think everybody like attention. Now there are some out there, trust me, but I think there's some that don't like attention.
Oh, I believe so. I believe so.
But
But
I
even
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I just think it all depends on the individual or the individuals, and what they want or what they're seeking in a relationship.
Right.
I think you shouldn't worry about what the next person think of your relationship or how you handling your relationship. It all depends on. I think it's you two have to come to an agreement and how y'all want to handle y'all relationship and keep the third parties out of it, or don't worry about what individuals think of you. We in 2023 headed to 2024. Certain people shouldn't even worry about what people think of them, especially an adult.
I think it's very hard for that. I mean, I understand there are some people, you do see some relationships where you kind of sit there and wonder, well, how did those two get together?
Correct.
But
Correct.
they got together because they knew each other or found each other and they like each other. And, you know, I think we're in this kind of situation where you know, you do want the attention and you do want the spotlight, and it's hard to kind of not think like, hey, what is, you know, is somebody looking at me weird? Is somebody think something about me? It's definitely hard, but I think if you get into a relationship where you do feel like this is the person for you, you kind of eventually let that stuff go and then actually want to be with that person. Me personally, though, I'm at a situation where, you know, I'm looking for a specific type. It works best with me at my situation in life. So, is it also, you know, what somebody would look at? Of course, yeah. So, the situation becomes this is what I want versus this is what other people might just say, well, you know, that could be what you want.
Okay, it
Right.
depends on individuals.
Right. So if you could find somebody, you know, what type of person would that be that you were looking for? If you are looking for someone.
But right now, I'm really focusing on. I'm not really looking for that individual. Now, if it has to come my way, then yes. But right now, my goal is to focus on my grandbaby, focus on buying a home, getting certain things squared away before I bring someone in my life. You know, I don't like bringing baggage to other people. Um, but I just think if the right individual come along, why not? But I'm not out there just, oh, I gotta be in a relationship, I gotta find a lover. It's not that. If it's meant to be, it meant to be. But right now, you know, I have certain things that I want and need to focus on.
That's a great way to look at it. I think a lot of people should focus in on themselves and, you know, get themselves where they want to be first, and then someone may find them. It's a
Correct.
very,
Correct.
very good way to look at it. So we've done some past versus present uh, looks at money and dating. And so we're going to start wrapping it up. A little something that I want to go into right now. This may tee off some people if they see this in Denver, but listen, let me tell you right now. Denver does not need to win a championship for a while now. And here's why. Here's why. Okay, so the Denver Nuggets, an NBA franchise in the basketball sport, won the NBA championship a couple days ago. The night they won that championship in Denver, there were 9 people injured. Some of them were shootings, and I'm not sure if all of them were, but 9 people were injured. Understandable, things get rowdy. Today was the parade for the championship to show off the Larry O'Brien trophy. And sure enough, 2 people got shot at the end of the parade route. Not only that, also, an police officer was hit by a fire truck that was going in the parade for. We're not. They haven't released details as to what speed the truck was going. They said that the officer was brought to the hospital at the time of this recording, and we will try to get more information in on that. Also, one more story. I want to say this name correctly. Nikola Jokic. His wife was in the parade with him and apparently got hit by an unidentified object. Some believe may have been a beer can being thrown at her or in her direction. So there were quite a few injuries from just the parade alone, but also from the night they won the championship. And
You
I
just
grew up.
mad because they won. I mean, they could win as many titles as they want. They have no control on the community that's in outrage because they won. It's not their fault. I mean,
But their fans got to take a couple years off. I've been in Boston when we won championships, and there were not that many people getting injured. We turned some cars over, we burned some stuff down,
Of
but
course.
there weren't people getting injured to the degree that it was in Denver. So I say Denver, you might need to skip a couple years before your next championship.
And I say Denver win all the championships that you want. I could care less who. I'm not a football, basketball fan, so it really don't matter to me who win. I just think they have no control of the fans or those that are angry, mad because they team. But it is what it is. Quote of today.
Yes.
For that are seeking a relationship, please take time to get to know the individual, to find out as much information about that individual before you go headstrong with the individual.
That was
For tuning in, and good night.
That was some very good advice right there. Just some general housekeeping before we close this up. Our shows will be running every Thursday night around 8-ish, we're going to say for now.
Yes.
So tune in. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to like this video. Feel free to share this video with your friends, neighbors, anybody else you know. Spread our names out, and hopefully we get a lot of people to tune in, watch, and comment even, and we'll go from there. Any other words?
Good night, and have a blessed one.
Good night, everyone, and we are tuning out.
Thank you.